And I would like to do this one labeled as 14 as our example so that you can see a couple different things. So again, on Schoology, we have those drop-down boxes we need to fill in, and I have in our notes on video right here a reminder that we have f of x, that beginning value a is talking about your steepness, and the number at the end is actually in the D spot, and that's talking about whether or not we go up and down just like the girl on the trampoline jumping up and down. That's our vertical translation, our vertical shift. So if you remember that, you don't necessarily need Desmos, but I would always check on Desmos to make sure that what I'm doing is correct. Remember that your parent function, f of x equals x, and you can go make sure that you type that in, or it should have been left already on your screen before. And I want to see what's going on, so I'm going to click on Desmos so that we can see what's going on. Your parent function is the one that always goes through your origin, and your origin is 0, 0. That's where you're always going to start. Okay. Now from there, we need to say how we get to this lovely green line.
Please stop what you're doing and enter attendance for today. Thank you.
So we're going to see how we get to this lovely green line. So the first thing that I notice is that the green line on the y-axis is lower. So if we look at our girl on the trampoline, that is actually that last number right here. So again, we have our house, right? And our flag out front tells us about our steepness. And the trampoline out back, that kind of looks like a spider or a roach, is telling us up or down. So if you'll notice, it was lower. So something that you can do is you can find that first one that says vertical shift up or down. And we now know that it is a vertical shift down. Okay, again, the next two questions, next two drop-down boxes kind of go together because they're talking about kind of the same thing. We need to determine if it is more or less steep. And when we do that, we need to remember the number out front, the bigger the number, the steeper the slope. And I actually want to look at Desmos so that we can see. Starting off with our red line, right? And now we want to go to that green line. So is the green line going to be more steep or more flat? And the answer is that it is getting closer to being a flat line. So whenever we go look at our notability here, let's see, we want the one that is less steep. Ooh, there we go, less steep. All right, because it went from a line that went like this to now one that goes like this. And the green line is the new line that we're talking about. Now to get that line to go down, how do we change it, with a stretch or a compression? So to get from our starting right here, our starting line, our parent function, to here, we're actually moving it down, right? And to grab onto that axis right here and right here, we're going to press it down, which is going to be a compression. So that's a vertical compression. And then the last one is talking about, is it a reflection over the axis? For that, we're actually looking for a number out in the very front, a negative number. And so here, is it a negative? And no, it's not. So there is no reflection. So we are looking for a negative out front to make it reflect. And since I have you on video, I want to show you another slide right here that kind of demonstrates the steepness of a line. As you get closer to 0 in the middle, you're becoming flat with a 0 slope. All the way out to infinity, you're approaching a vertical line. And so you can see that the negative numbers for slope make you go in that negative direction, slanted. And then our Mr. Slope face, our positive numbers, have that positive slope. And the bigger our numbers get, the more vertical our line is going to look. The closer they get to 0,